Hello, welcome to another Informatica video tutorial. My name is Fernando Guerrero. I am a cloud solution specialist, and in this video I am going to talk how you can use Informatica Rest APIs to check the information about your schedule. You can review multiple schedules, update them and delete them. So first we are going to know why it's useful to have access to this API and be able to do all those things with the API. After that, I will show you a little demo and how to use the API. And at the end, I will give you some links to the documentation. So the first thing is, why is this useful? Well, you can automate all your monitoring. You want to make sure that all the schedules that you think that are running. So anyone should be missing. You can validate that the schedules have the correct intervals, the correct times, so everything that can be done programmatically. Based on that information, you can take actions, and you can also create programs to update the values of that schedule, which day is going to finish, which day of the week they have to run, how often they run, and you can even delete the schedules. And this gives you a lot of power to automate your environment and make it more robust. So now we are going to do a little demo. You will see how you can use these API calls and what information they provide. So here I have a mapping task. I am creating the mapping task, and usually the last step of your mapping task is you need to decide if you're going to run this mapping task in a schedule or not. So for this example, I am going to say that I want to run this mapping task using a schedule, and I am going to create a schedule. Okay, so I will call this one so that's gonna be the name of my schedule. I will copy because I will use that name later. I want to start today. I want to repeat this to run daily, only during the week, and it should finish on March 29. Okay, I am creating my schedule. So now I am going to proceed to use that information here in the API calls. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to log in. When you log in, you will get a specific ID, and that ID, when you have the API calls, you have one element in your header, call it iSession ID, and you have to specify that ID over there. So the first thing is like, okay, so the schedule, let's go here, the schedule API, it has different calls. You can have a get request, and you can get, when you only specify that you want to get the schedule, it's gonna list all the schedules that are active in your organization. If you want to do it only one specific schedule, you have to do the get request by providing the ID of the schedule or the name of the schedule. Also, you have post requests. This is when you want to update your schedule, and you have also delete API calls for this one, and we will do a little example of all of them. So let's do first the get schedule, and I don't want to list all the schedules that I have in my organization, so I will do it only by name. So I am providing here the name of the schedule. If you don't know the name, when you can list the active schedules in your organization, and you will get names, you will get IDs there. But right now, if you know that, also when you look at the mapping and you try to edit your mapping task, and you review which schedule is being used, you will see the name there, so you can come here and get the information. Okay, so I am going to send my request, and here you can see all the information that I provided. I created the mapping. Here is telling me the days that started. Here you can see the date that I specify is going to be the last day. I want to run it daily, just one time, and it's going to end only during the weeks. Okay, so that's the schedule that I have. Well, what if I want to modify this one programmatically? We can come here. So okay, so when you get the schedule, you can take the ID. This ID represents this schedule, and when you have your post request, you are going to specify that ID. Also, something else that you need to notice is like for the post request in the header, besides the iSession ID, we have another element called update mode. You have to write that one, and you need to give the value of partial. So when you specify the ID, then you create your body, and in your body you are going to specify basically, you're just going to specify a JSON object. So it's basically the same object that we got in the response before. And here what we're going to do is, okay, what do you want to update? Okay, so I want to update the day when this schedule is going to finish. So right now, so let me copy this information. Okay, this is a response that I got before. So I am going to copy this object, and I am going to put it on the post. And I want to modify the day that this is going to finish. So before I say, you know what, it's going to run until the 29. Well, I want that this thing run until the 30. So I sent my post. I got a response to 100 and everything was okay. I can go back again and to review. When I run my get, I will run it. And let's see if now instead of 29 we get a different date. I will send it. You see, we have now the date. Is the 30 as we change it. Now let me copy again the ID. Now if you want to delete the schedule, if you try to delete it right now, it's not going to allow you to delete it. It's going to tell you, oh, this schedule is currently being used by one mapping task, so you cannot eliminate it. So what you have to do is you need to go to your mapping task, edit. Let me go and show you. So we're going to edit. We go to the schedule. Here you want to say don't run this on the schedule. Finish. Okay, now if we come here and now the mapping is not using that schedule. If I try to run it to delete again, you see you get a 200 was okay. And if I try to get it, if the schedule, remember that name, now it's going to tell you that that one doesn't exist. If you want to know more about Informatica Rest APIs, you can check our official documentation. Here you have the link to the schedule API call. You will be able to see more detailed information about this API. If you have any feedback, you can send us an email or you can send us a message to our Twitter account. Thank you very much for watching this video.